This week's episode of Cursed Earth Radio's Weekly Dredd is brought to you by Grot Pot, Mega City One's favorite junk snack. And don't forget to try the new Polish potato flavor.
I like potato.
Dredd, turn on your transistor radio. It's our favorite program. Hooray!
This is Cursed Earth Radio.
What's up, Dark Judges, Desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio's Weekly Dredd, the weekly review show where we talk about the newest and most exciting 2000 AD Prog.
Yeah, we're doing 2156 this week, but that don't matter. We're doing page 2 of Dredd. I'm going to shout fuck a lot.
What happened, Johnny?
Oh, I'm hot. I'm
no.
hot. Where's the goddamn explosion? I got fucks to shout.
Cursed Earth Radio's Rantcast.
Yeah.
With Cool Johnny Lost His Cool this week.
Oh, you fucking sanctimonious son of a bitch.
People have been talking shit on your favorite man, haven't they?
We got stories this week, but I'm going to rant.
All right, well, here we go.
Yeah, fucking blow me up, Scotty.
Keep listening, creeps.
All right.
Oh, goddamn.
You want to rant now, or you want to wait till we get there? You good? You good now for right now?
Let's do our Dredd news. What you got?
I knew this was coming because in my notes,
You blocked out time for me to go on my fucking tirade.
I did.
I'm
Hey,
gonna.
Something happened while we were recording our intro originally, and I accidentally recorded over the intro track, and then I recorded, but I was recording myself talking over it, and when I realized I made this ape-like noise, and so I'm going to dub it in right here so our listeners can hear it. All right.
That's what the people came to hear.
Yep, and I also found out, just as I was trying to edit that in, I found out that I can do this too.
I want to thank the Academy for our upcoming Emmy nomination for amazing work on a fucking podcast.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
Oh, shit.
So
I guess we should laugh now because I'm going to use up all our fuck tickets here.
Yeah. Wow, that's what happens.
What you got? What you got on Dredd News outside of your monkey sounds?
Oh, but before we get so I didn't have a whole lot. The one thing that I had outside of Dredd News is since we will be posting this early, I guess we can go ahead and announce we did our first interview.
Yeah, we're like somewhat legitimate.
We're like Bob Costas.
Yeah, I guess.
We talked with Adam Woodliff, who works with Warlord Games, about the new Judge Dredd miniatures game, and it was a nice long, like 30-ish, maybe 40-minute conversation. So we're going to be posting that. If you're interested, keep an ear and an eye out for that. And well, that's it. So we got that. The only other thing I had was I wanted to say this week in the Prog that we read, there was an advertisement on page 2. And I was very excited because it was, right there, Johnny.
Oh, for Action 2020.
Action 2020. And it looks like they're going to bring back Hookjaw.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Look at you. Yeah. You know, I'm sorry. This whole Prog is dead to me.
Yeah.
Fast page 2.
But we got some Hookjaw actions.
Yes.
And that's a positive.
That is.
And actually, since we always plug
That's
it on
coming
here.
on what? They didn't put a date. They just did 2020, right?
I think you can find out more on that if you listen to this week's Thrillcast, the 2080 Thrillcast, because they did a whole episode where they just like sort of covered it. I haven't listened to it yet, but I get notifications whenever they upload. One. So
you didn't look at 2080's Instagram today?
No.
Okay. So I got some news. Well, 2080's has some news. I'm just regurgitating. They are kind of making a bid for new fans.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to produce a 12-issue U.S. format style Perfect Bound series, kind of like a greatest hits of 2000 AD. 12 issues.
Oh.
I think it's starting in April, I think. I could be wrong. I guess I could just click the link and tell you. But they're going to do everybody from 2000 AD, like the best of the best.
Oh, cool.
Trying to get some new readers in. The U.S. style, I don't know if that means they're aiming directly at us, which this market desperately needs it. I don't know if the size of the Prog kind of puts people off because it's like a tabloid size.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this because I said it early in other episodes. We were doing this to get more people in this country into Dredd and listening. And we've got more people in the UK and the rest of the world listening, which I love. Like I said, I'm happy that anybody's listening.
Yeah, me too.
But we kind of missed our starting mark.
But so is it going to, I know you don't know this, but is this going to include like the cool shit that like they got for their 2080 mega collection? Like
it's going to be
the statues and the prints. That's what
I don't know. I don't think they said it's going to be like a 2080 mixtape.
Okay.
An anthology mostly of the Rebellion era.
Right. Okay.
So the newer stuff.
And they should push that stuff because it's just as good as there's shit that's happening recently, Judge Pin.
Yeah.
Just as good as Apocalypse War kind of stuff.
I will put Iron Maiden, everything from Brave New World up against their 80s catalog any day. It's just as good.
British reference.
You like
well.
that?
Yeah.
Like, well, they're kind of global.
Brave New World is one of my favorites.
It's a
actually.
fucking amazing album. But that starts in April 2020, so hopefully we'll get some new eyes on 2000 AD in general. I'm eager to see. I think they said the first one's going to be 48-page self-contained Dredd.
Okay. Is it a subscription service?
I don't know. The details weren't all forthcoming.
Okay.
But it's going to be 12 issues, perfect bound, which means a glue spine.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing kind of like Case Files.
Yeah.
Nobody can see me pointing at the wall behind me.
Yeah.
But there's a wall of Case Files back there. So I'm ecstatic because, and I was talking to somebody and last week was a really good week for interactions with us and people on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And our listeners. Really good.
Great.
I was talking to somebody and he was kind of off. He didn't really dig IDW's Dredd. And I said, look, consider it a gateway drug, a North American gateway drug.
Yeah.
If they like this, maybe they dig a little harder and go home and see where, pick up a Prog.
And because we have been so limited with our ability to get Dredd in the past, I think it made us consider the IDW stuff.
Yeah.
And so we have found a lot of merit in that. I
can't wait till we cover Mega City 2, City of Courts. That's gonna be a fun one.
I've discovered one of my favorite artists of all time through
Ulysses.
IDW. Yeah. I mean, I love
Nelson
his work.
Daniel has quickly become one of my favorite Dredd artists of all time. He did a lot of the stuff, 13 Badges, American Way of Death, their take on, and that's what I like. It's their take on these stories. It's not a complete one-to-one retelling like that god-awful 1996 Vince Vaughn Psycho remake.
I didn't mind that.
It's okay. You see that? Do that.
I didn't mind that.
You know they had a VHS tape of Psycho on set going, in action.
Right. And the thing is, most of the people who probably went to pick that, because this was what happened to me when I started looking at the IDW stuff. I picked up the stuff Nelson Daniel, and I will never be able to pronounce that guy's name. Swazinski.
Yeah, I like his writing.
But when I picked it up, I opened up the first few issues and I was like, well, there's fucking Judge Cal, and I've read that, and I know I don't need
it is not the same.
Right. I didn't realize that at the time.
He becomes a midget. It's hilarious.
So I think that turned some people off. It certainly turned me off.
Would you rather see them put their own spin on it, or do you just want to see them record a cover album?
For me, it was loving like the Mega City 2 stuff. For me, it was like they just went their own way. So
Pug Dredd.
God, I love Pug Dredd, and I love Beard Dredd. I
Blessed
love
Earth Dredd?
Beardy Dredd. Yeah, because it's not. I love it because it's the Friday the 13th Part 5. You don't see it. It's Halloween 3. So I don't feel like I'm ever. I don't ever force myself to love something so much that I hate anything else that comes after, because it's real easy to get into that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the takes of some of these other authors and artists, and
given the small nature of the 2080 and Dredd fan base, I know that maybe if we approach it from inside differently to the outside, that we might have more fans. Maybe if we aren't dicks about it and go, oh, you like the Stallone Dredd? Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care how they get here. Let's just get them here. So stop being a dick about people who got here on Stallone Dredd. Yeah. Stop being a dick to people who got here on the IDW Dredd. Just be happy they're into the character. That's the only way this fan base is going to expand, is if we stop being dicks about it.
And you can secretly hate the
No, you don't have to like everything, but don't shit on somebody else's happiness.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think after a while it just becomes. I don't even resent the Stallone Dredd for what it is. I resent it for what people think Dredd is now. So
yeah, it's an uphill fight, but
it.
a couple people got into the character via that movie.
Yeah, and I think the fundamental aspects of that character, the things that draw people to the character, whether that's the look of the character or sort of the overall vibe, as long as it captures that.
Yeah.
The Stallone movie maybe didn't so well.
It is what it is.
But, you know, when I look at IDW, they never made fun of Dredd.
No.
And it's the same rule that you talk about when we talk about horror movies, where you can have comedy in your horror movie, but don't have comedy at the expense of your killer.
Yeah.
And that's with Dredd. You don't want to have comedy at Dredd's expense. You can have Dredd react to things.
And he's not the 2080 Dredd, but they got the overtones of the character. There's one point he's taken this high profile vidder around, and they're being chased by robots, and the robots are tracking this kid because he's got a camera implanted in his head, and Dredd tells him to shut it off. And the kid goes, well, I can't. It's implanted in my... And before he gets the sentence out, Dredd just fucking headbutts him right in the camera. I'm like, oh, that's Joe.
Yeah,
I get it. So it's like, what was it? Last week, My Chemical Romance announced they're coming back.
Yeah.
People were genuinely happy. And then people went out of their fucking way to shit on those people. Jesus, you miserable fucks.
I was genuinely happy, and I didn't discover My Chemical Romance until I got Spotify and got so fucking bored while we were driving on tour that I was just listening to stuff, and I sort of started loving it.
Regardless if you like it or not, you know what it's like to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if they said Vinnie Vincent was back in Kiss,
I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
So
hope that he would, work out a little bit. I'd be so fucking happy.
Get rid of the dogs? But
Yeah.
why shit on somebody else's happiness?
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. Like I said, with my old podcast, it was a movie podcast, and we ended up reviewing a lot of movies that we had to review.
Yeah.
And I ended up sort of hating the podcast because I wasn't doing something I
It was
loved.
drudge work.
Yeah.
And I'm saying all this knowing in about 5 seconds, I'm going to go into a fucking fury.
Well, let's go there. Let's just go there right now.
Oh my!
Give us the info first before you lose all your shit. Tell us who wrote what and what we're reading.
So we got part 7 of Guatemala this week. It's part 7, right? I see. That's how blind. Yeah, part 7.
You're the fact checker, Adam.
Yeah, I got so blinded with rage 2 pages in that everything checked the fuck out. Got Defoe, part 7. Brink, part 7. Part 7. The New Bloods this week. Hope Under Fire, part 7, and The Fall of Dead World, Doomed, part 7.
And we have covered by I'm assuming this is Inge Colbard.
Let's see.
I just don't know how to pronounce the three.
God, please excuse our inability to pronounce names. We're fucking terrible at this, Randy.
We get a beautifully colored cover with 2 really ugly people.
It is an ugly Big Lebowski. I love the color palette.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of Brink is that pinkish blue.
It kind of reminds me of Drive.
Yeah, yes, it does.
I've been meaning to sit down and watch it. I can't get my way to it.
But man, this covers these people are fucking ugly.
It's no Judge Fire. Did you track that down yet?
No, no, I do not own the Judge Fire cover yet.
Did you
one
have
day.
Santa Dread yet?
I don't think Christmas is coming to Mega City this year.
No, oh my god, our Christmas episode is gonna be crazy. There's so many good stories about Joe hating Christmas.
Of course.
So we have Judge Logan dropping the hammer on Guatemala.
I was really surprised that it went this way.
I honestly thought this was our Universal Monsters ending. I thought this was it, done.
Oh, see, I was on the other end. I thought they were going to drag this out a lot, because way...
That's why I thought it was Universal Monster ending, because it starts off with just onslaught.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fucking around.
I love Judge Logan.
He seems to be genuinely good. And they take out what? They take out one Guatemalan robot H-Wagon right off the bat.
Yeah, they realize there's no better time than right then.
Yeah,
They kind of have to move right away.
So they're... Oh, my God. This shot... where this is the eyes of Logan. He says he wants 6 Mark 8s. He'll get a damn sight more than 6. And the next page is just Mechanismos raining. I was so fucking pumped when I saw the Mechanismos are in theater. And they just straight up wreck shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just game on. They hit the hoverport. Dredd tells Beanie it's go time. You have to go fulfill your part of the mission. I've got to go deal with this gold lunatic with a mustache.
And the Humanistas did their part of the
Yeah.
mission, which was identifying which nukes they believed were operable, where they were at, and this is how Mega City's able to do this calculated strike.
Logan said it's not going to be at any better time than right now, so
Yeah.
we're dropping the hammer. Dredd even sends Ronald with Beanie because he knows it's going to get hairy.
And I noticed that Hershey's children, grandchildren, are not Mega City's priority. This is where I started to realize, okay, but that was Hershey's request to Dredd, and they're like, get him out if you can, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah.
So this is Dredd's personal mission for
I think
Hershey,
he's had
for the
enough
memory.
of El Presidente, and I think Beanie also has had enough of El Presidente. You know what I've had enough of?
All
Fucking
right.
Joseph Dredd. You, Joseph Ulysses Dredd, you sanctimonious son of a bitch.
Dredd's talking about how he dislikes robots.
So what does he say?
I think I took a snapshot, unless you have it open. With all of your grunts, I'm assuming that you have it open over there.
Yeah, the sniveling Walter, you motherfucker. This is the Horus heresy. I am the Emperor of Man, and Dredd is my fucking. Oh well, God, what's his name?
Your Horus?
Yes, he's my Horus.
You just said this is the Horus heresy.
Yeah, God, see, I am so blinded with rage, I cannot form a cohesive thought.
So Dredd does say that now his life and the Mega Cities, or the Beanie's life, are in the hands of robots, and he doesn't like that. But so after all they've been through, after all of Walter's groveling,
This
after all of his caring for Dredd, the only thing that Dredd has for him is that he was sniveling.
Joseph Ulysses, I don't know if that's his middle name, but I'm going to say it, you motherfucker. Without Walter, good sir, you do not win the robot war. Without Walter, you don't save the city from Cal on the day the law died. You asshole.
I'm just now basking in the idea that Dredd and I are on the same fucking wavelength.
You're both assholes.
We're on the same fucking page, me and Dredd.
He saved the world.
Did he turn evil in the end, though?
Shut up.
Is that what happened?
Shut the fuck up. Don't you besmirch the good name of Walter.
Oh, God.
God damn it. I went from last week, oh man, Dredd's a badass. I want to be just like Judge Dredd, to this week going, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know how, like, you love a musician or an artist or a comic, and like, oh man, that person has had so much a profound impact on my life.
Oh, yeah.
And then you find out, oh, he's a diddler and he's a piece of shit. He's a genuine asshole. I'm not saying Dredd's a diddler. I'm saying he's a genuine asshole.
Are you saying that he diddled your hopes and dreams?
He did. That son of a bitch.
Were you a fan of Lost Prophets or something? I don't know. What the fuck? Or Gary Glitter? Because, like, you know how it is. Like, when you like this artist and then they're a diddler, and I'm trying to think, like, not really. Who did I like?
I was using an example. Okay. Well, he's fine. This son of a bitch. I can't even form cohesive thoughts. This son of a bitch. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
So just in the interest of calming you down and moving along.
Fuck it, we got this booked.
They send a shit ton of war droids in. Beanie and Ronald
I'm
head
just
out.
supposed to forget this shit.
Well, no. I mean, we're gonna see some robot destruction. They head towards El Presidente, and that's kind of where, shit has gotten real, and you can see El Presidente is watching his kingdom burn very calmly. The way they wrote this character, he's such a fucking psychopath.
He is. Well, Beanie gets Hershey's daughter out. But we forgot to mention, because I went on a fucking, my rage gauge exploded. When they're talking about, like Logan's talking about in the beginning, it said, we'll do what we can. I have to point out the boy, there may be no saving him.
Well, he doesn't have a dick. His dick's gone, Johnny.
They can grow skin, and Dredd can go fuck himself. But, like, Beanie's, obviously, her task is to extricate the mother and the children. With Ronald with her, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, because these mechanismos are fucking eating El Presidente's troops alive.
And not to re-traumatize you here, but when Dredd is talking about his sort of hatred for robots, there's a bit in there
I'm going
where
to have a rage stroke.
It almost demonstrates his... My God, you and your clicky bottle. It demonstrates his confidence in the new Mechanismo models.
Yeah.
He's not blind to the fact that these things are sort of more reliable and more...
They're not going to go Mechanismo.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
That's my rage. I've let it flow through me, and I think I'm a Sith now.
So, despite their best efforts, 2 nukes are launched.
But Mega City 1 shuts them down.
Yeah, right.
El Presidente he is backed up against the wall, and I think he knows he has no chance now. His forces have just been obliterated by a deployment of Mechanismos.
Yeah.
So he is going to murder the daughter. He wants to murder the daughter and the grandchildren and broadcast it in a manner most grotesque.
Yeah. What is not most grotesque that they do in Guatemala?
Well, everything.
It's terrible.
I think it's all done in anesthesia, so it's where we might get into some.
Question for you.
What?
The drones. Yes. I'm assuming they're drones. The things that took out the nukes.
No, those are piloted ships because they call them out.
Well, they just say like 7. So I was wondering,
I'm guessing that was the ship's designation.
So you think there was a human pilot?
Yeah, because they say we have it when it hits it.
Ooh.
Yeah, even in my rage, I could read.
Wow.
Don't you look at me like that, you son of a bitch.
Hey, at least you got an episode of Brink this week. So at least you got that to look forward to.
Fuck. Sacrilege and heresy.
I can't wait. You think this next issue is the last
I think
in terms
so.
of this storyline?
I do think we're gonna get the Universal Monster ending.
I really want them to stretch this one out.
You want a protracted fight?
I want 4 more issues of this. I love this storyline. I think
it's been really fun reading. And then, despite my ranting about the besmirchment of Walter, it has been a really, really good and interesting read. Only one slow chapter.
Yeah, it was the bridge. Yeah, but every villain, man, it's just like they're knocking it out of the park with some of these fucking villains.
I hope Dos and Uno just get crushed.
by Mechanismos. I do want to see them just being destroyed. The Guatemalan robot rebels don't seem to have any chance against the Mechanismo units. Dredd has to rip El Presidente's heart from his chest, like the new.
He's not
going to
go Ram or RoboCop 2 and smash his brain on the street.
Oh God, yeah, well, you never know. It's what I was thinking today when you sent me a picture of the new RoboCop Blu-ray, and you were really excited. As much as we get on here and talk about how RoboCop and Dredd are nothing alike,
they are not. Well,
we mention RoboCop in almost every episode
because I love RoboCop.
I know. But there's a connection there.
Yeah.
So,
they're both law enforcement personnel.
Yeah.
So
sure.
But yeah, good. Outside of fucking besmirchment of Walter's good name, you son of a bitch. Good. I think it was a good chapter.
Look at it this way: new readers will go, "Who the fuck is Walter?"
He's a goddamn hero. He's a goddamn hero. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, angels to some, demons to others. Whatever you say, whatever Pinhead says.
Yeah, Hell for the company, heaven for the climate.
Yeah,
we do have new T-shirts.
Yeah. That's Anderson one's been up there for a while. But I like
that one has boobs though.
Well, I don't think the boobs come with the shirt.
Oh.
But you can go to 2080.com and check out the artificial boob drawing of the T-shirt.
Is that our new sponsor?
Yeah. So next we went
Devise a Defoe.
Oh man, Defoe's been amazing for a long time. Like there was a couple issues where I was like, I don't really know what's going on, and I like the artwork.
You had the revelation.
It's amazing right now. He's being tentacle raped at the beginning of this, and it's just.
Did you get euphoriaed?
He's very he's very resourceful. He manages to get himself free by just fucking shooting him.
Well, I mean, what you gonna do?
Yeah. And at first I was like, is he on some sort of fucking astral plane? Because he's
in the ocean.
This artwork is fairly confusing at times.
Yeah.
Turns out he was just in the ocean.
I like how he stops to pick up his hat. Like he just fuck it.
Yeah.
And he once he gets free from the Lords of Light, and he kind of assesses the situation, picks up his hat, realizes that Kearney has got away with Idonozor's sarcophagus, but he's also done the math and figured out the Dutch setup without Idonozor.
Yeah,
and
it's not going to go well.
Yeah, he's not going to give them the technology to get to the moon without him.
Yeah, so they're halfway there, and he sets loose some reeks or reek like creatures on the Somnium,
You know what that means?
I believe it has something to do with sleeping.
Dream.
Dream.
I
Okay.
looked. I googled it.
My connection to it is we covered a Misfits song once, and it was Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And
Somnambulance.
Somnambulance. And I looked that up, so that's my only connection there. The dream turned into a nightmare because some reeks got loose, and they set fire to the
fucking
fuel
mess.
tanks. You are just a noisy mess.
I
Reeks,
like the fact that the crew thought the reeks were going for them, and they immediately attack them, but the reeks pass them by, only to go to the fuel tanks and immolate themselves and take the entire ship down with them.
I thought it was interesting. Like it says that it set their space program back decades, and then the next day, all of the newspapers,
Sensationalized headlines.
like they got what they deserved. Fuck the Dutch.
Yeah. What was fuck, dude? Was it it's set the space program back decades. There have been riots in their capital. In some kind of strange imitation of the reeks, they've just killed and eaten their prime minister.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's when Defoe figures out, that wasn't an imitation of the reeks. That's a Donazor letting us know that we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Catch-22 situation. Yeah. They
One
they
way or
don't-
another, we're going to die.
Yeah. If they don't take him to the moon, they're dead. If they take him to the moon, something terrible.
Either way, something terrible. I
wanna
don't
know.
want a Donazor to go to the moon.
I want him to go to the moon. I want to see. I want to see what.
Oh my
I want
God,
to see what happens.
I'm trying to rationalize what's gonna happen, and I just realized, I looked up what that meant, but it's fucking right there in the headline.
Oh,
Fucking
I guess we're not that smart.
nope. I never claimed to be. We never claimed to be
That's-
factual either.
that's
We never
true.
let the facts get in the way of our enthusiasm.
Never claimed to be experts. So
I'm gonna let you take.
Did you just skim?
No,
Hitbox?
I read it. I read it, and you know what it felt like to me? It felt like the Big Lebowski.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a character that looks like the dude in
It
this.
totally looks like the dude.
It
was nice of him to turn off the porn
I'm just
when the officer showed
yeah.
up.
I'm rolling with Hatebox, man. I don't know what
I
it
am
is.
happy you're happy.
Yeah. So we finally get to see the favela, which is this huge, space station ghetto that apparently is growing.
That's my favorite synthwave album.
Space Station Ghetto.
Yes.
Yeah. It's growing by leaps and bounds. And any agencies have just stopped going down there. It's run by drug lords. It's run by gangs.
Yeah, well, even when they get there, she tells what's her face to leave your piece on the
Bridget,
seat.
yeah.
Go out with your holster open as a sign of respect.
Yeah. So this is totally uncontrolled by any of these agencies.
It looks fairly nice for being uncontrolled.
Kind of does, yeah.
It looks nicer than Mega City.
And this dude that we're meeting, the dude, Albino, he's watching.
I kept reading that as albino.
Oh, did
Jesus Christ.
and you're going like he doesn't look albino.
No, he does. You know why? My brain just shorted out in
The
Guatemala.
Walter thing.
The Walter thing.
So when we meet this
The
dude,
besmirchment.
he's watching pornography on 20-foot high.
Living the dream, as we say.
And it's essentially he's humping the leg of these officers. He's basically saying,
He's pulling a Louis C.K.
yeah, no, he's literally humping. He's not asking them to watch him hump his own leg. Man, diddlers, Louis C.K. What is this podcast?
We talk about the important issue. We spent a whole weekly Dredd talking about Dredd sex life.
True.
You're not getting this anywhere else, folks.
I did not expect this character to exhibit himself in the way that he did.
Oh, he's a scuzzball.
I mean, he's sitting in one of those retro egg chairs in a robe, watching pornography, surrounded by armed guards. So think about this, Johnny.
Are they getting paid to watch him jerking?
Right. Is he jacking it to this 20-foot porno while the armed guards are hanging out? Or are they really, is that just a flex?
He can't. It reminds me, there's a Squidbillies this episode where Early Kyler attacks this. He's trying to hump this one lady, and the guy's trying to walk away, and he grabs him and says, "You don't leave. You got to watch, or else I can't get off." So that's kind of what I thought was going on.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe just the idea of having armed guards really gets this guy going. He plays really against the character that I thought.
Where do you think it was going?
So what I like about it is when you meet this, they're like going into death's door essentially. So you're waiting for a villain,
and they're pretty much walking on eggshells.
Yeah, but it's this very, he's physically imposing, but he's
gross.
He's just nonchalant and he's very relaxed, and it's not even as if he's trying to threaten them.
His robe isn't even tied. It's just
yeah.
His twig and berries just flapping about.
It's very it's very similar to El Presidente when they first met him.
He's got a mustache in a different place though.
We have not seen the worst of this character. And so I just thought that was interesting that they didn't play this guy like a mob boss,
Yeah, he
like
was
a
just-
crime lord.
He's a creep.
And his business, what they're looking for is who did this mass killing of
Yeah.
these 12 people or 11
The
people.
eating of fingers and whatnot and so forth.
Yeah. And he says that whoever it was, and he names somebody, but we know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
He names somebody, but he says they were involved in that world porn. And he's like, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with world porn. I'm just watching real porn, but I don't fuck with world porn.
Look at that Earth. Oh my God, look at that Earth.
And the big shocker for this was after they leave, we find out that he's the man that killed Bridget's father.
Yes.
And he, he did that thing we talked again, El Presidente, where for you it was the worst day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday. Yeah, he did that.
That
yeah,
was M. Bison, sir.
He said, "Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, your father is dead." So I don't know, man. I Brink for me is expanding into some interesting places. I like the police procedural stuff, so I'm getting some of that. And yeah, you're right. They're so ugly.
It's unique. The art is unforgettable. It definitely is. I read it every week, and I hope that something like the Switch trips.
Yeah,
but it
may not. I was talking last week about how Leola is the ugliest character, but we've realized I think that people are just ugly in the Brink.
They got a case of the space uglies.
It's the cleanest
Ugly.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. I do enjoy the art for this one. I love the color palette.
Oh yeah, the color palette is great. The greens and the purples.
But yeah, it's getting interesting in ways I didn't think it would. I think this villain's real strange and interesting, and I feel like it's a sign of at least they're not taking us down the stereotypical, hey, I'm a drug dealer, or hey, he's a sleazeball.
Yeah,
I feel like he's probably involved in snuff films.
Oh,
so
8mm.
Yeah. So
on to Hope.
On to Hope.
Under fire.
Hope's. I'm struggling with Hope.
Yeah, at least there was some clarity brought to the story this week. Our main character, the entire reason that he was brought under this guy to investigate all of this was because this guy, the main antagonist, I guess, I can't remember his name. That's how much I've forgotten.
Yeah. It was a scam.
Yeah, he saw his ghost, his phantom, and he wants it.
Yeah.
And it's all been to break our main character down, and wear him out because he knows that's when she shows up. And apparently it's a she.
That was the thing that I learned this week, is that it was a she. Yeah.
So he brought him all the way back to New York to his old house where his family was murdered, to wear him down to where it would finally show itself. So his psychic energy could encounter it to do something. I have a theory. I'm guessing this thing is our main character's, the phantom of his wife.
Huh.
I'm guessing.
Why is she wearing a gas mask?
I don't know. Because being dead stinks.
And it looks pretty fucking cool.
It does.
It's a great image.
So, yeah, I mean, I still like the art, like the noir thing, but it's been a real slow get here.
One of the issues that I have each week is, and it may just be my poor attention span, is I have to almost... It's like I need to really go back and read the Prog before to get with this Prog. So,
I mean, as you can see, I've forgotten their names. I'm not even trying to.
I'm pretty sure our main guy's name is Hope.
Hope, is it?
I think that's
okay.
his last. I don't know.
This
is terrible.
Steven. But I'm not going to bullshit it and pause and go, oh yeah, well his name is this.
Yeah,
so,
right.
No, I genuinely forgot, Fuck it.
So, and the end, again, we have Dead World.
Oh my God.
Fucking loved it this week
too.
too.
The sisters are back.
God, they're some of my very, very favorite characters, and I'm glad that they're fucking just wreaking havoc and doing their thing. I'm glad that they're at the forefront of the villains in this story.
I keep wondering.
And you were right, dude. It was the Apocalypse War.
Yeah,
you were totally fucking right. Yeah,
it's the Elseworlds Apocalypse War, or mirror events Apocalypse War.
Yeah. Oh man, it just.
Which means they had a Blockmania before this,
right.
Which I'm guessing was what brought this plague on.
Which is probably in that issue that we're waiting for this month. that
I cannot wait for Casey Tweed to die.
Yeah, he's kind of a fucking putz.
I want to know how Sydney goes from being an ashtray back to being Sydney.
I want to know where Judge Fire is.
Oh my God! So we get right in, and we're right where we left off. With what's his face? What's his name?
Gates.
Gates.
Yeah.
Now in Dead World, since you haven't read, Gates is one of the first people who've turned the Fairfax encounters, and Fairfax fucking smashes his face with his. He's got, instead of a day stick, they've got a fucking mace with a spike ball on the top. And Sister Siren pulls Gates' head off his shattered body and puts it on a new corpse, and he gets a body back.
Oh wow!
He's died a couple times. He's been fucked up.
So you mentioned Sister Siren, and this really got my fucking blood pumping because the sisters had mentioned that they were hoping Siren would replace their estranged third sister.
So you think it's phobia?
I think
nausea.
I think it's no. I think it's deliria.
That's right.
Phobia,
delirium.
nausea, and deliria.
That's right.
Because remember, we were trying to figure out
if she was real or just a construct of Anderson's psyche.
I think. And here's the. I was trying to connect these.
Satanic panic dots.
Sort of. Yeah. I was trying to connect the symbolism, and I thought, okay. So deliria happens when you're in a fucking dream state, right? And Deliria is a stray. She hasn't been around. We don't know where she is. Maybe the reason Deliria is not there is because this whole thing is like a fucking dream world. It's like it's you know what I mean. It's almost like a figment. I don't know.
It better not be. They better not pull that.
I don't even mean in that way that someone's going to wake up from it. But when I think of like the Lovecraft fan in me thinks about the elder god who lies dead dreaming. Yeah. I don't know, man. God, I love Dead World so much.
He is just a mass of too many limbs. Gate, look at this. It looks like he's got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 7 legs. It looks like 3 people and a pirate got shoved into a barrel.
He is hideous, but that fucking tit-headed kid that tries to fight him at the end of this Prog is much more hideous.
Oh, he's an angel. No, I mean he's literally part of the angel family in this world.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a literal he's a little angel.
Did you see what t-shirt the kid's wearing?
No. What is it? Is it Agent Orange?
Agent Orange.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is
so, how the hell
great,
do you
man.
I mean Gates is he's just screaming can't die.
And he does.
Well, Fairfax, you want to bet? And Fairfax has killed him like 3 times and gets him beat down. And then Sister Siren herself takes a fucking blowtorch to what's left of Gates' meat. Oh, it's kind of sad because this
he might be back.
Monstrosity that used to be Gates. All I can say at the end is, I love you. It's like somebody setting Sloth on fire in the Goonies.
Yeah.
And she fucking torches him.
Well, it's got to happen.
Oh God. Looking at him makes me want to play the new Doom that's coming out.
Yeah. He would fit in. Like I said, we need Doom God to take him out. I'll tell you, here's the things that I want, Johnny, for the next, before this thing wraps up.
A 100-page special on the greatness of Walter.
We'll get. I don't know if that's going to happen in Dead World, but what I want in Dead World is I want more red razors. I want to see.
I think they're just kind of collateral damage at this point.
I need more. I want to know where I want Mortis and Fire to come back. I want to know where the fuck Fear is.
I want Sydney to not be an ashtray.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what did they say? Oh, yeah, that's right. So it was interesting when the Sisters of Death are talking about Siren and Judge Casey. They said, like, basically, yeah, we chose Judge Casey because he is like even more of an idiot and even more of a malleable manipulator. We can manipulate him even easier than we did Sydney. So it almost cast, Death and the Dark Judges in the light of being puppets of the Sisters of Death. And it's funny, like that's kind of what it is in Necropolis. And you didn't really pick up on that.
Oh yeah. So, the Sisters did all that.
Yeah. But I think,
which is why the mutant is a more powerful psychic entity than the 4 Dark Judges.
Now,
without the Sisters.
Now. Yeah, but the line that caused this whole disagreement, this question that we've been having, is that she says, Death and his cronies.
Yeah, but the Sisters didn't exist at that point. The Sisters didn't show up until...
Well, you did a poll on our page. What did our readers say?
It hasn't closed yet.
It's close.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it closed?
I mean, it's close to being over.
Oh, no, it's close to being over. It's not closed yet. I won't know the results until it shuts down.
Okay.
But
we'll update
for Anderson, the Sisters didn't exist in the mutant.
Right.
They didn't exist for years later.
That's true. But let's say we go towards Necropolis. My whole idea was there's no way that mutant.
The mutant could take the 4 Dark Judges. It's the sisters he'd have trouble with.
Yeah. But the mutant, to me, the mutant versus Necropolis is like, but then again,
But
Necropolis.
that's the sisters.
No,
I'm saying,
right.
I'm saying the 4 Dark Judges.
That's true, and that may be true. See, when I read that, I immediately threw the sisters in there.
The mutant melted Anderson's head like a candle.
Yeah,
Anderson put death in her head.
It may also be
Transitive property.
Oh yeah, but it may also be that I don't like the mutant.
I
I
know. Just
think-
because you know what the thing is about facts. It doesn't matter if you like him or you don't.
Well, I think he's what I'm going to call a mutie Sue.
A mutie suit.
Yeah, it's kind of like we need a threat. Yeah, sure, he can do anything and everything.
Yeah.
One of our listeners actually said something interesting about that.
Yeah?
Because I saw we had a lot of comments about it.
Yeah, that was a really hot episode.
Yeah, someone said that that was supposed to be a mega epic, and Wagner and Grant, I believe, both worked on that.
Yeah.
Got bored and said, "Yeah, we're just gonna end it." And I was like,
Well,
"Oh,
they
that's
should have done that on
interesting."
Oz.
Yeah, they should have done that on Oz. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. Where it's almost like, "Yeah, you know what? We're good. All right, let's just end it." Because
But I also found, I think it might have been the same listener we were talking to. The mutant came back.
Yeah.
In the
I
year
saw that too.
2021, so we're going to have to cover in the year 2120.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to cover that one. I was actually going to pull that one this week, but I can't because the case file, the progs on the web store only go back to the year 2000 or something, and that prog was like 98.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I find the case, I got to find the case file.
Yeah, just buy the case file. Yeah.
But I want to kind of book in, which means we got to do the Judge Child. Sorry,
Yeah. I want to do the Judge Child just because.
don't make me.
I just so that we can maybe look at it with new eyes, and I
You know all the long parts in Oz, and we were like, that's way too fucking long.
yeah
Yeah.
is that in there?
Mm-hmm. There's so much shit that could have just been.
I think
snipped
a
out.
lot of older stuff is like that.
Yeah,
really,
it's all padding out. That's a serialization.
and that's why maybe that mutant, the City of the Damned, it marks something where they said, you know what, we don't want to just stretch it out like this.
We can actually tell the story without padding it for.
Because when we met those dick snakes, I thought, oh god, here we go. And then they're like, no, just the dick snakes.
Yep.
And that's good.
Yeah.
If there's a lesson we can
Well,
learn,
if the dick snake takes your eyes out,
that yeah.
then it's.
If there's a lesson to learn, it's that one encounter with dick snakes is more than enough.
Less is more.
Yeah.
And I was talking with one of our listeners last week, and he said something that kind of stuck with me, and I'm going to use it from now on. I said, Dredd is a fascist that sometimes does good things. And I can't think of a better summation of character
Yeah.
for Dredd
Pretty good, yeah.
than Dredd is a fascist that sometimes does good things.
And sometimes does them on purpose.
Yeah,
And
every now and
sometimes
then.
does them collaterally.
Backs into him.
Hating Dredd for me, and I believe for you too, is a big part of loving Dredd.
Yeah, because it's part of the character, and you're going to get that.
Yeah.
And Dredd's going to be a dick, and I think that should be on the Facebook page somewhere. Just Dredd's going to be a dick in a lot of the stories you read.
Yeah.
And we got like in the prog, we get a nice little
Brendan
McCarthy Dredd
It's nice.
with his very unique Brendan McCarthy helmet
Almost everything.
and his weird Brendan McCarthy badge.
That's what I was going to say. Almost everything he does, even the badge, is
Yeah.
pretty unique. And I actually think Planet Replicas, I know they did.
They did a jock.
They did a jock.
Did they do a McCarthy?
They did a couple different ones. I don't remember if they did McCarthy or not. I've been meaning to buy them all and have no money. So there we go.
Yeah, and we got a collection of Slain coming up that you should definitely buy.
We can't buy that.
Why can't?
We can't buy that.
Why?
That's the 2080 Mega Collection.
Why?
That's not for us, Johnny.
God damn it.
That's the thing that I tried
God.
to order. Yeah.
God damn it.
It's Tom Hanks, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing that both myself and Judge Rick tried to order.
So
and
you can't get this off the island.
Nope, fuck you, they said. Because that little Nemesis the Warlock statue over there, he's one of many. If you subscribe to that. But you can't buy them if you're in the United States. I would pay whatever it costs to get them shipped here.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want my money, that's fine.
Well, it sounds like they do if they're going to do this new 12-issue thing, but
Yeah, well, they're trying. Well, maybe they finally realize that that's a really
God.
shit tactic
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in the best time ever for 2000 AD.
because of us.
They're trying to go global. We have so many
You got
games.
to. You can't. If you want it to be bigger, you got to push it beyond the bounds of the island.
Yeah, ship it 2000 AD.
We will buy. I've seen us do it.
I've seen us do it also. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I said.
Go, what do you got?
Just
You want to have the last word on Walter?
Walter is a saint. God damn it.
Oh God, you're listening to Cursed Earth Radio. This is Heavy Metal Kid.
I'm cool, Johnny Cool.
Oh, fuck, I already said you're listening to Cursed Earth
Yep,
Radio.
good job, numbnuts.
So let's just end with this sound effect.
Keep listening, creeps.